Here at the Seal Sanctuary, our main mission is to rescue, rehabilitate and release seal pups that we find around the Cornish coast. And we also offer a home to animals that we have rescued and are maybe non-releasable for a variety of conditions that they've got. And also we rehome animals from other aquariums and zoos. So when the pups first come in, we put them in the isolation unit. The vets come out, we take the blood sample, we come up with a plan for the rehabilitation. We then give them lots of fluids, we feed them up, we move them through to the hospital here. This is where they first learn how to swim. Once they're nice and big and they're about 20 kilos, we can then move them outside. And once they're outside, we introduce them to other seal pups. And that's when they learn how to interact, how to compete for food. And that's just where they're putting on all that weight. Once they've gone through that process, they get up to about 30 kilos. We load them up into the trailer, we take them down to the beach and then we release them. So yeah, when we come in the morning, we weigh all their fish out, we get all the pills in the fish, we come in, we feed the animals, and then we clean all their wounds. And once they're all clean, we can leave the fish on the floor, we fill their pens up, and then hopefully the seals, they have their little swim and they learn how to feed. Yeah, so on average, the rehab process is about 3 months. So we'll come in early in the morning, we'll have them all in one pool together, we'll drain that down, we go in with the cages, we weigh them all just to make sure they're at that release weight, they're all in good body condition. They have little flipper tags in their rear flippers, and that's each individual animal has a different number, and that's so we can monitor them post-release. We'll load them up into the trailer, drive them down to the beach, open the trailer, and hopefully they just go off out into the sea. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they hang around, but usually, yeah, they go out.
So we've come from the Cornish Seal Sanctuary today, and we've driven down with a trailer full of 7 of our rehab pups. Those pups have been in the hospital for around 2 to 3 months receiving care and treatment. I mean, obviously it's very hard not to get attached to them, but we try not to, especially because they are wild animals. We don't want them getting attached to us. We don't want them coming up to people expecting fish and things. We do feed them out of sight from us. We hide and make sure they can't see us so they don't associate us or the bucket as feeding time. We can look at them at a distance and admire them from there. So we just released 7 of our pups back out, and quite a few of these came in with things like respiratory problems, wounds and things like that, so they needed care, treatment, antibiotics, but they're all healed now and they're ready to go back into the wild.
As part of the animal care team, it's a really rewarding job. We have a skill set to basically take an animal that was not going to survive, rehabilitate it and release it and give it that second chance of life back out in the wild. It's also a little bit stressful sometimes. These animals are wild, and they're in a very unnatural environment in the hospital. And we're handling them 2, 3, 4 times a day because we need to keep their wounds clean, we need to give them their medications. So it's also quite dangerous as well because they are wild, they've got big teeth. So we're open 364 days of the year. The only day that we're closed is Christmas Day, but we do still come in as animal care team to look after the pups. And the best time to visit the Seal Sanctuary is probably from September through to about March, April time. And that's when we have all of the pups on site, so you'll be able to get up nice and close in the hospital and see them going through that rehab process, and also see the pups down on site that are nearly ready to be released. So that's the best time, but also during the summer, we've got our resident animals that were non-releasable from pups. And so yeah, you'll be able to see them and obviously see the story that we have here at the Seal Sanctuary. So the money that we get from people visiting, from donations, from pup adoptions, all that money goes into the rescue, rehab and release work that we do here, and as our core mission at the Seal Sanctuary.